Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Dave. This is ScotsToys, where we cover Lego investing, our Bricklink store, and general reselling. Today's episode is going to be going a little more in-depth into our Bricklink process. If you haven't seen last week's video and you're curious about how we go about fulfilling an order after we've received it, go ahead and hopefully there'll be a link at the end of the video or somewhere around here to go back and watch that. But today what we're going to do is we're going to cover the process in which I take sets and break them down to get them into the inventory. So we're going to be breaking down two sets today, the first of which is Lego Dimensions Goonies, which has Sloth in it, which is super cool. It's got One-Eyed Willie's pirate ship and apparently the skeleton organ. So this is one of the sets that we're going to be breaking down. I've got two of those, so we're going to do it in quantity to show you what that's like. And this is a set that I got from TJ Maxx and Marshall's for about $6, if I remember right. The other set that we're going to break down is the Lego Star Wars Mandalorian Battle Pack, which has the 4 different Mandalorian figures. We're going to go ahead and part out 2 of those as well. We're going to be using our fancy little containers here. That's what we're going to be going over today. So let's get right into parting these sets out. All right, everybody. So we are upstairs. This isn't actually typically where I do my sorting. I usually do it in the living room because I do it while Lori and I are watching a show of some kind. However, she's gone, Scott's using the TV, so I figured I'll go ahead and use the dining room table right now. And so what I use are these sorting trays, inserts for Protect and Store, Darice, 12 by 12. And I get these from Michael's Bulk. These are also the ones that I use inside my long Sterilite drawers in the storage area downstairs. I'll try and remember to put a link in the description for these particular drawers. Okay, so what I've done, right, is I've got 4 bins wide by 2 tall. So I usually give myself 8 bins, which is 80 different compartments to sort. I use this, which is just a Rubbermaid Tupperware container that I use to put all the pieces in. And then I just keep the remainder of the stack kind of over here so that I can replace them when a bin is completely full. Next, I got to go ahead and break these open. I don't really save any of these boxes because it would just be way too much with the number of sets that we go through. So those are going to go ahead and go in the recycling. And now what you can see is that for this particular set, we got 2 pairs of instructions. We're going to go ahead and set those aside. But next what we have are 2 different kinds of bags. And so I sort them by bag type. So you can see we've got a large bag that has the little pedestals for the people, and it looks like there's some people in there. And so I'm going to go ahead and put those over here in one container. And then I've got a secondary bag. And so we've got 2 of these ones. And what I like to do is open all the bags of the same kind first. We have the pieces all in here from both bags. So this is 2 sets of the one bag. The other ones are over here. I'm going to set those aside. The next part of my process is going to involve getting a piece. And in this case here, we've just got a pedestal. And we put it in a container. So we're going to go through and do this with each of them. Now you can see this part here is a different piece. And so it's going to go in a different container. One additional thing that I like to do is, for instance, I've got some dark tan. I'm going to go ahead and try and keep my dark tan pieces up here. And then we've got some reddish brown. These ones I'm going to go ahead and put in this bin over here. And what that'll do is it'll make it easier when it comes time to look up the pieces to put them back into the inventory because they'll be grouped together a little bit better. I'm going to go ahead and get these in here and show you what it looks like. Okay, so I've got done with the first bag. You can see we've got our translucent pieces. We've got our figures. The figures are one that I do slightly different, where I do try and group the figures together. A couple miscellaneous colors. My dark tan up here, apparently we only had 2 of. Light tan down here, we only have 2 of. I did break open the next bag, so I can see a lot of light tan in there. We've got a lot of reddish brown, so what I'll end up doing when I finish the reddish brown container here, I'm going to move over and I'm going to start filling this one out with reddish brown as well. We've got all the pieces sorted. I made a couple moves here to keep all the black pieces together just because the number ended up working out. I don't often go back and actually move them around just because it ends up spending a lot of time, and at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. This is something that I want to show you, is that even though I did not fill these ones up here, I'm going to move over and start parting out the other set. I'm not going to put any other pieces in here. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to stack all these pieces, and this is why I love these containers. I just took all that space and condensed it into a single stack that I can just set to the side. Now that I've replaced my setup, I've got my bin ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and break those loose. I did forget what I like to do with the instructions. You put them on top of the stack for the pieces that they belong to. That way you can easily grab this when you go to enter them in your inventory. I enter items into my inventory one set type at a time. Not one set, but one set type. So in this case here, I'm gonna go ahead and add quantity 2 of that particular set. The next ones here, I'm gonna pop these open. I'm just gonna put all the pieces in the bag and sort them out. So here we go, ready? And okay. You can see we've got it all sorted out. Couple things to note here. This bin here, I just put all the Mandalorian figures in because I'm gonna have to go through later and pick which pieces all go together to make each Mandalorian, because each one will be its own unique lot in the store. Other than that, all these are together. The visors and everything is also a piece that I will end up doing just like that. I'm probably not gonna go ahead and break those out individually. So I'm gonna go ahead and once again, we're just gonna bunch these up. Nice and easy stacking, and this is again why I love these. The other beauty here is because of the instructions, and since I don't really care about listing those, I can just take this, put it on top of them, and the instructions act as the dividers for these sets now. Let's go back downstairs and show you what's next. Okay, so now that we have the sets all parted out in our fancy little storage containers, and I've got them sitting right over here on a little rolling cart, next thing that we need to do is go ahead and prep the pieces to be added to the Bricklink inventory. And so what I use for that is a program called Brickstock. So Brickstock is technically a free program out there. I did go ahead and I don't know whether they call it donate or purchase a license. It was something like that. It was only $20 and the program is super useful. I would highly recommend it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm starting off with just a blank untitled document, and I'm going to come up here to add items. So over here in the item type, I've chosen that I want sets. You can search for all types of different things. I have all items, which means it's the entire database of available sets. So I'm going to do 71267, which is our level pack The Goonies. And we parted out 2 of those. So I'm going to take 2 of them and add them to my list. The set itself isn't going to do us any good because we've already broken it down. And so the next step that we need to do is we're going to right click on it, go down to part out item. When we click that, it's going to reselect the item that we already have here. And then there's a little quantity indicator down here. And so we're going to go ahead and up that control to say 2. When I hit OK, what it's going to do is it's going to open a brand new file that is the entire inventory for that particular set. And so there's a couple things to look for. We're going to go down and we can see we've got our figure here. And then we've got these items at the bottom that are pluses. So the pluses are the extra pieces. Some people, I think, don't like to include the extra pieces. And so what you would do in that case is you would come down, highlight these items, and you could hit delete. So I'm going to add the extra pieces and all into the store. So what I'm going to do is to get rid of these pluses because I don't want to add 2 separate lots to the store. I'm going to highlight everything. I'm going to right click and I'm going to say consolidate lots, and it's going to combine them together. So I'm going to say that I want to create a new lot from it. I don't want to add it to one of the existing ones there. I want to do the same thing for the remaining lots. We hit yes, and we can see that now when I scroll through, I don't have any plus marks. Tells me that this particular file is almost ready to be uploaded. So the next thing I'm going to do is choose our pricing. And so Brickstock has a really sweet built-in feature where I can highlight everything. I can hit Control-G, and you've got a couple different options here. You can either choose all-time sales for all your parts, the last 6 months sales, or the current inventory that's available. And then under each of those categories, you can choose the minimum price, the average price, the quantity average price, as well as maximum. So what I typically do is I just say, look, the current inventory that's available, I'm going to go ahead and use the average pricing for it. I'm going to click OK. It tells me that everything's been updated, and there's only one thing left to do now to get it into our inventory, and that is we are going to go up to File. We're going to choose Export, and we're going to choose Bricklink Mass Upload XML to Clipboard. We can see that upon clicking that, it automatically uploads the Bricklink Upload Mass Inventory page. One thing we need to do, because it added it to our clipboard, is we've got to go into this middle box right here, the File in Bricklink XML format, and we're going to hit Control-V to paste the stuff from our clipboard, which is the entire inventory that we just added. I've got a couple things that I do. So if you haven't seen that last video that talks a little bit about my system and how I reference my drawers, please go back and watch that. It might make more sense here. But in order for that drawer number to show up, what I want to do is I want to consolidate these items with anything that I've already got in my store, right? So if I've got a 1x2 brick in here and I've already got 1x2 bricks in my store, I don't want to add a new lot. I want to add those pieces to the existing one. And so in order to do that, I need to consolidate the lots. And so by consolidating the lots and keeping the old remarks, the existing ones, that means that we're not going to overwrite any of our drawers and have lost pieces. Last thing we're going to do here is click Verify File. We can see here that we've got this white bar holder with clip. We've got quantity 8 of them that we're adding. The price each is 14 cents basically. And it's going to be consolidated into an existing lot. And the new quantity is going to be 45. So that tells me that I already have 37 of these in the store. And you can also see right here, this one has a remark of $13.49, which is the drawer in my management system that piece exists in. So what I do next is I take the Bricklink store, the file upload, which is not uploaded yet, but I bring it on one side of the screen, and I bring the Brickstock file back over on the other side of the screen because I'm not done. What we need to do next is we need to take and add the remarks for any of the existing pieces. So you can see here I've got a remark column in the Brickstock file, and so for the bar clip I've got $13.49, so I'm going to enter $13.49. And I'm just going to run through this and enter, scrolling through each of the pre-existing lots. And the reason I do this is it makes it easier when I go to put the pieces back into the store, right? So I've got to take these pieces out of these drawers, and a lot of them have to go into pre-existing drawers. And so this is going to allow me to do it without even having internet access. Okay, so I've got all these, and at this point, I would normally save the file. So at this point, the last thing we need to do is it just gives us a quick summary here. I'm going to click Upload File. After clicking Upload Files, those pieces are actually available for you guys to actually purchase. So the Goonie sets are available now. So what we're going to do to get the pieces in the store now is I'm going to come real quick, and in Brickstock, you can go to any one of these columns and you can just click it to sort. So I'm going to sort it just so that the figure's up at top, so that everything shows up in a color order. I'm going to take one of our bins and I'm going to grab some pieces. So here we've got our white 1x1 modified plates with clip. So I'm going to scroll down here, and that tells me that these are in drawer 1115. Okay, so I just went and grabbed drawer number 1115, and I can indeed confirm that I have the same white clips in this drawer. So I'm just going to put these in the drawer as well and put it back on the wall. And I repeat that process for every one of the pieces that already have a home. And I do it by going through one tray at a time. If I get to a piece that doesn't have a home on the wall, I keep it in the tray and set it to the side once I'm done with that tray. As soon as these pieces are in the store, we'll go ahead and show you how we enter new items into the store. We got all the pieces put away. We've got 9 different lots that need a home. I'm going to show you how to find where to locate those inside of Bricklink. I did go ahead and pull the couple drawers that I'm going to need to do this. I'm going to be starting at drawer number 2200, going up to 2204. To start off, what we need to do now is we need to find where these are in our inventory, because right now they're in there, right? We uploaded everything, even the pieces that didn't already have a home. And so what we're going to do for that is we're going to go ahead and click inventory. And this is going to pull up the total sum of all my inventory. But in order to find the ones that don't have a remark, what we need to do is over in search my inventory, we're going to select the remark option. And then we're going to scroll down a little bit. And we're going to go missing my remarks. This is going to pull up. And I'm just going to hit the go button now. And we can see that we have 9 lots found. So these are the only pieces that I have associated with my Bricklink inventory that don't already have a home. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to locate the piece. So in this case here, the first item up are the skeletons. I'm going to put those in drawer 2200. I'm going to go down. I'm going to go ahead and grab the skull minifigure heads. Now these ones I'm not going to put in drawer 2200, and that has to do with a policy that I use when I run my Bricklink store, and that's I don't put 2 pieces of the exact same color in the same drawer. So even though it's completely different piece type, it's still white. And so I'm going to go ahead and put that one in 2201. We're going to go down and we're going to grab our Lego Dimensions. These ones I can put in drawer 2200 because completely different piece type. I can't mix up those pieces even if I only go in and look in the drawer by color. And now we get down to the minifigure. So the minifigure, I could take all the pieces and just throw them in the drawer, and that's usually how I started. However, to save me time later when I'm packing an order, which is on somebody else's schedule, versus right now I'm kind of working off my own schedule, what I like to do is pre-bag the figures. Okay, our minifigures are bagged up, and I am going to go ahead and place both of them in drawer 2201. Okay, so now that we've got our last piece with a remark, all of our pieces are in here. I hit submit changes. You can see that the inventory has successfully been updated, which means I have all my pieces in the store. The next job is to get these trays back in the wall, and that's it. Okay, everybody, that's it for today's episode. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing the part out process. I do still have the Mandalorian Battle Pack figures to get in my store, but I'm going to go ahead and do that offline at a different time. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please go ahead and click on that like button below. Let me know in the comment section what you think of my part out process. If there's anything that you would change or something that maybe you do differently, I would love to hear about it. I'm always interested in finding new ways to improve, either to make it more efficient or improve the quality control level of the pieces. Thank you so much. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Click on that notification bell so that you can be notified of all of our videos, which come out Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next video. Bye.